Welcome, everybody. Time to build some YouTube channels. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, we're going to get to some awesome content today. I'm pretty excited. Just making sure this is it's live. It's working. Great to be able to see the comments, hopefully, as they come in. What a week. This has been an awesome week. And just quickly before getting to the content, I want to talk about playlists. One of the things we've been getting some really good results with is playlists. At the end of every video, we're doing a call to a playlist instead of a single video, and finding that it's making an impact. We're getting significant more views from playlists, and so trying to link videos together so that you're teaching YouTube when somebody watches one of your videos, they're watching 8, right? So we'll do up to 9 videos in a playlist and just try to find the most relevant videos. Some people just leave it on. They click on it and they'll just leave it on and watch all of it, and you're making the signal for YouTube that these videos are related, and you start to get ranked more and suggested and get more views on the videos. The number one question that you guys voted on was how to stay motivated and keep working even when you have little results. Let's dive in and talk about that a little bit, because I think it's going to be really helpful. So here's what really helped me in terms of staying motivated. I got 3 things that I want to talk about, and then react to it. Give me comments, give me questions in the chat, and let's bounce around together a little bit on it. The first is big why, little why. So the first is remembering the big why is what you're doing. The big why is I'm here to try to solve this problem to help these people, right? For me, I want to help entrepreneurs. I want people to believe in themselves more, and just keeping my big mission in mind. Sometimes that's difficult. You know, I'm just filming here in my home office, right? I'm just filming from my little studio here. It's hard to imagine that 300 million people have seen my videos. So trying to keep that big picture in mind, try to remember what you're trying to do and why it is so important to you. And that's a daily battle. It's a daily thing that, at least for me, I need to remind myself of. I need to do important work today. No matter how great a day I had yesterday, it's still today has to matter. Today I need to make myself proud. Today I need to go off and contribute to solving the world's biggest problem, right? And so reminding yourself that the mission you're on is important. That's your big why. Big why, little why. The little why is the daily progress that you're making, the daily feedback that you're getting, because sometimes the big why is too big. Even for me, sometimes I'll wake up and look at that and say, who am I to be the guy to solve the world's biggest problem? It feels too big, feels too overwhelming. And then it's easy to then default to think, well, I shouldn't do anything. All right, this is pointless. And so the little why is just knowing that your work, your videos help somebody, help one person. Right? You had one comment. My first video on YouTube was almost 11 years ago, April 2009. So yeah, almost 11 years ago. Wow. It took 1 year to get 3 comments. In 1 year of that video being up, my Walt Disney video, you can go back and watch it. It's still there. It took a full year to get just 3 comments. And the first comment was my mom, and the second comment was my sister. And then the third comment was a random dude who I didn't know. So really 1 comment in a full year of that video being up. And I remember feeling deflated. I remember feeling like, man, why am I doing this? Nobody's watching. Nobody cares. What I would do, though, is I would take the little comments that I did get, and I turned them into a PowerPoint presentation. And I watched that PowerPoint presentation every day. And I put it to a song. I put it to I Will Go the Distance by Michael Bolton. I don't remember how it goes now. I was going to try to sing a few, but I don't remember how it goes. I will go. Anyway, I will go the distance. It was a reminder that I needed to keep going the distance, right? And so it would show the comments that made me feel good on this PowerPoint file that I would watch every day. Now I'm spoiled in that we get so many comments that I still go to my comment section every day and see what people are typing and posting, because it inspires me to know that it's still big why, little why. It's still, I'm trying to solve the world's biggest problem, and it's still going to my comments and saying, wow, all these people found it helpful. It's one individual person, right? Found it helpful. So I would look at my comments every day. You may not be getting new comments every day. So I would go back and look at some of your old comments and know, hey, I may not be hitting my big goals yet, but I helped this person. I helped this person. And maybe you only have 5 comments on your channel total, but you helped those 5 people. And that's a real person. And that meant something to them. And at least for me, I use that as a drive to say, I need to keep going. I need to keep making content because people are enjoying it. So that's the first one, to stay motivated. Big why, little why. The second is having an environment of excellence. And what that means is being around people who are doing the things that you want to do. So just like if you're around people who are working out all the time, guess what's going to happen? You're going to work out more. If you're around super healthy people, guess what's going to happen? You're going to become healthier. It's just going to happen. That's what happens. You become what your environment is. Most of us default to living in an environment that wasn't set up with intention. So you probably don't know a lot of people who are doing YouTube videos. There's probably not a lot of people in your hometown, in your family, in your friend circle who are making YouTube videos, who are trying to be a thought leader, who have a mission that you're trying to bring to the world, right? There's probably not that many people. You might not have anybody in your circle. And so that's why it's so important to create that environment for yourself. And there's a couple ways to do it. The first is your physical environment, right? So this office was designed with intention so that even if I'm waking up and I'm feeling low energy and I'm feeling like I can't do it, I walk into the office and I got Steve Jobs staring me down and AP Giannini, my favorite entrepreneur, my parents and Howard and Kanye, looking at me, having my books here to remind me that I'm built to serve, having my awards there and the Doritos bag there. They all serve a specific purpose. And that's I call them play bigger triggers, to force me to play a bigger game. So think about your own physical environment. Does it inspire you to want to go off and do more? But then on top of that, it's your daily consumption. What are you consuming? So if you're having trouble staying motivated in making YouTube videos, then I would surround myself with people who are making YouTube videos, whether it's my videos that might inspire you, whether it's other people creating how-to YouTube videos like a Tim Schmoyer or Daryl Eves. Those two guys I followed every day. Every new video that they came up with, I watched. When I didn't know anything about YouTube, I followed those two channels and learned a bunch, and also kept me motivated. Whether it's posting here in the group, in the chat, and saying you need help, or getting feedback on a thumbnail or a video, just to keep the momentum going, right? Just to be around other people who are also trying to build up their mission, their message, create content so that you're not alone. Because when you feel alone and when you feel isolated, it's still possible to keep going. It just makes it really, 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 really tough. And this is not just YouTube. This is why so many people quit on their business, because they're alone. And that's why I want to have this live and this group set up with the course. So it's not just a course that you go through, but there's also the community element to it. So think about your physical environment, right? What kind of play bigger triggers can you create? Think about what you're consuming on a regular basis. And if there's enough in that makes you feel inspired, motivated, and then who can you surround yourself with so that you don't have that feeling of isolation and loneliness. And if you are, again, come to the group, post. I guarantee you, if you came and you posted and you said, I'm feeling low energy today, or I'm feeling alone, I'm feeling like I want to quit, you're going to have people who will support you right here in this group. Do you have an idea of how long it takes to get a video suggested? Nicola's asking in the chat. So first step is suggest it against your own videos, right? That's going to really depend on how much people are clicking through to your own videos. The more people are clicking through to your own videos, the more it's going to show up. So it can happen right away. It can happen the next day after a video comes up, or it could take a week or take a month. Right? This is the gray area of YouTube, right? In some videos, it blows up right away, and other videos take longer to get going. It's really about the user behavior. So it's not just about a time window that matters, it's user behavior. Are people actually clicking through to watch more of your videos? If they are, YouTube will quickly recommend more of your videos. So after you've done a video, you can look at your own videos and look at suggested and look at how many people are watching on to the next video. If they're doing it, you're going to show up a lot more. If they're watching one video and then they bounce, then they're not going to watch another video, right? And so you're not going to show up in suggested. And so it's really about how quickly can you get. You want to show up quickly. It's how quickly can you get people to click through on your next video after they've watched one. So I don't know if you're here right at the beginning, but I suggested making a playlist at the end. So instead of just linking to one video, link to a video inside a playlist and link up the videos that you feel are most relevant. So we'll do that. If you look at any of my new videos now, there's always a playlist at the end. And I've hired a new person on my team whose sole job, this is her entire job, is to go back on all of my old videos, 6,000 videos, and update the end card to be a playlist. And what I'm trying to do is link my channels together. So I've got so many different channels. So we do a playlist and we take one from each video on the different channels. You don't have 9 different channels to worry about, but I would pick 7 to 9 different videos that are relevant on your current channel and turn into a playlist to get people to click, right? So it's like asking, when do I start making money in my business? Well, when do you start providing value to customers who care about it? The same thing. You need to get people. You'll show up and suggest it once you've trained people to go watch multiple videos, right? So consistent thumbnail design, getting people in the playlist, getting people on the end card to go click on it, making a series. So like you do a 5-part series on marketing, part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? At the end of part 1, go watch part 2. It's right there, right? And in part 2, go watch part 3. It's right there, right? Get people used to clicking through on multiple videos. So big why, little why, environment of excellence. This is how to stay motivated, and then focus on progress over results. So it's easy to just get caught up in the results and how many views you're getting, how many comments, how many subscribers you're getting. And if you're not seeing early results, you get discouraged. What really helped me at the start is focusing on my progress. Am I getting better? Am I better than I was the last time I shot the video? Did I perform better on camera? Did I get my powerful opinion out? Did I, edit the thumbnail like I wanted to on release? So you're focusing on those as wins, as opposed to just saying, did I get the views that I was hoping to get? Especially in the early starts. I mean, even now, when we look at videos that don't do well or don't do as expected, we still celebrate the progress. We tried something new. I'm trying a whole bunch of new things coming up on the channel. Most of them aren't going to work, but we still celebrate the progress, the effort, the attempt. So can you look back on a video from 3 months ago and say, wow, I've gotten a lot better on camera. Wow, I figured out my lighting. Wow, I figured out how to lead with a more powerful opinion. I'm not memorizing my lines as much. I'm able to go 10 minutes on a video, right? Focus on those checkpoints that you can make yourself proud of the effort by focusing on the progress instead of just the result. So big why, little why, right? Remember what you're doing, but then also remember that you help somebody. Environment of excellence, what you're surrounding yourself with to keep you daily motivated to do it, and then focus on progress over results. Would be my 3 biggest tips on how to stay motivated when you're not getting results at the beginning. All right, pop your questions down below. We'll see how I can help. So we got Saad. I have a YouTube channel targeting the French market. Can I research for video ideas in Canada, in USA and Canada? You can. If there's not enough data for the French market, I would then just translate the language. So if you look in the bonus section, the advanced bonus section of the YouTube course, there's 2 modules there. One where I talk about Google Trends and how to use it, but then also how to use a Google Money Machine, where it's tapping into how much you can get for different keywords. You'll probably find that in speaking in French, you'll get some from the US. There's still a lot of people in the US who speak French. So you get US market and you'll get France, and then you'll probably get a bunch of African countries who are searching in French. You won't make much from the African countries. You'll make a lot in the US, and you'll make decent amount in France. Usually I'm seeing about 70% of what the US market is. If you go over to a European country, Nicola, same thing for you in Italy. It's usually about 70% of where the US market's at, depending on niche, depending on keywords, topics, all that. Some advertisers, they just don't have as robust an ad market as the US side yet. So there's not as much competition, and so you don't get paid as much. But it's growing, it's building, it's working up. So yeah, if there's not enough content in the French market, not enough data, I would go English and then translate the words to get a sense. You can also go Google Trends, so not YouTube, but Google. which should give you a bigger pool to work with, and Google Trends in French or targeting France and see what shows up to get some ideas for it. There's pros and cons, and this is for Nicola too in Italy. Pros and cons of being in another language. One, it's harder to get the data, but there's not a lot of competition either. So you can stand out more quickly in any of those markets. So Nicola was posting in the chat about should he split up his channel and do one in Italian 3 days a week and one in English 3 days a week. It's easier to gain traction when there's little competition. So you can build your audience pretty quickly. When I did my Spanish channel for this and my Russian channel for Evan Carmichael, we got to 6 figures pretty quickly. I got the silver plaques down there because there's not a lot of competition. Nobody's doing it. So you can quickly stand out in the French or Italian market. The challenge is the market is small. It's hard to scale. If you're only targeting French-speaking people or Italian-speaking people, that could be a business. And you can still sell coaching services and books and everything else. It's just nowhere near the size of English speaking market. So it could be a great starting point. Build up content, start making money, start driving ad sales, maybe sell your book or course or consulting or whatever you want to eventually get into. But you're going to feel trapped and limited. Marion was going through this as well, where he has 2 channels, one in, what's his hometown? It's an Eastern European country. I want to say Romania, but I could be wrong. And he got, views for his Romanian videos, but it's small because there's just not enough people who speak it. Now, French and Italian are bigger languages than, Romania, but it's still small. And so he's moving English, bigger competition, but a lot more opportunities to go off and win, right? Even just the same video will make more money in the US market because there's just more advertisers, right? YouTube has millions of advertisers. They have thousands. I thought they had hundreds of salespeople, but a guy who works at YouTube corrected me and said, no, we've got thousands of salespeople. They got thousands of salespeople trying to go get new advertisers on the platform. They're just mostly based in the US. And so that's where you're going to get the best rates. Saad, I mainly make tutorial videos. My first video was 35 minutes. Should I still continue long format or make multiple smaller videos, 10 to 15 minutes? I love long format. The challenge in the long format is to make sure that it's all quality, that you're not repeating yourself, that it's not the same thing over and over and over again, just said in different ways. So long format definitely wins. I love long format plus consistency. So depends what you're going to give me. If you said 35-minute video once a week, or 3 10 to 15 minute videos in a week, I would say go with the 3 10 to 15 minute videos. If you said you could do 3 35-minute videos once a week, then the 3 35 will outperform the 3 10 to 15. But the 3 10 to 15 will outperform the 1 35. Does that make sense? So assuming the content is great, right? And there's no fluff and you're not just filling things in, and you can see where are people dropping off. Are people hanging out and watching a video, or do they drop off immediately? Look at your audience retention curve in the course. It shows you how to do it. If you need help with that, let us know. But in general, I would try to aim to be in the 3 to 5 videos a week, at least 10 minutes. If you can go longer on them, awesome. If you're only doing once a week, it's going to be really hard to scale up the channel. Once a week is going to be the minimum, right? Under once a week is going to be super difficult. Once a week should be your first target. And once you're there and you've figured that out, you gotten into your rhythm, try to go 3 times a week. Nicola, my goal is to use the Italian channel to get a basic income, then scale in English. I think it's a really smart way to look at it, Nicola. It's a really smart way to look at it. A language channel can make you enough to get your basic income, to get you known in your local market, and to make enough money so that it can be your full-time thing, maybe hire one person, but it's not something that you can scale very well. I just came back from Brendan Burchard's event, and I was speaking at his mastermind, and there was a woman who's even in the Spanish market who Spanish market's giant, right? She's from Colombia. She's dominated the Spanish market, but she wants to move to the American market because it's just so much bigger in size, but in dollars. right? If you want people to buy your courses and buy your books and buy everything you're doing, this is more, Americans are bigger spenders. Even for me, I'm Canadian, right? I'm from Canada, but I sell to the US market because Americans spend more. The average, even in Canada, it's about the same, 70 to 75% on keywords on advertising compared to the US market, even though it's still English. So I think it's a really smart way to look at it. Saad, same thing, like get your channel in the language to the point where you're making enough money. You can then hire, good editors, you can scale your team, and then you can use that same team to help you in the English language channel. It's going to take longer to win in English because now you're prioritizing your local language channel. So that might offset your big long-term goals, but it gets you fed so that you can afford to be there and play the long game and you don't run out of money, right? So I guess it's just how aggressive you want to go. But I think it's a really, really smart strategy. I don't know if Alain is in the house. He had a couple questions. He says he's going to pop in. If you're there, Alain, let me know. We can get to them. Otherwise, we can move on. And again, pop your questions down below, and happy to help. Well, we've got our time together. Got a couple minutes left. Niche selection was another one of the things that was brought up. I would combine this with what do you love doing with what there's a market for. So if you look in the bonus section at the advanced bonus, go look at the one where I talk about the money machine. It's really important for you to know what keywords, what topics can make you money, right? But you also have to have something to say about those things. So, Geico insurance or motorcycle insurance is going to pay a lot of money, but you may not have anything to say on that topic. And if you don't have anything to say on it, you can't make an authentic video. So I have a video on my test channel, the red channel, where I break down different industries and show an example as well. But it's in the advanced section. If you go look at it, you'll see it. Things like recipes. Recipes don't pay very much. But if you do Rachel Ray recipes, it can do a lot better. And not just like 5% better or 10% better, like 1,000 times better. It's crazy. It's crazy, the gap. How much money can you make on YouTube? It really depends on the topics you're creating and how much views you're getting on the videos. So that would be the combination. What you love talking about with what there is a market for. Because you could love making videos and you can get lots of views, but if there's no ad dollars for it, you're not going to make any money doing it. So look inside of your topics and see what can I genuinely talk about where there is also advertiser demand for. And that's how I would go about picking my niche selection. Make sense? Okay, we'll get one last question in from Chris. When looking at educational channel, some people say that you should be 80% entertained, 20% content, as this is the way to get videos to get traction. What's your take on that? You have to play to your strengths. The more that you can be entertaining, so people consume content for both, for entertainment value and for ideas, right? To actually shift their thinking and to teach. You don't have to play in both spectrums. You can win on either side, but if you can combine them both, that's when you can ultimately win. If you look at my channels, though, I'm not very entertaining. I'm just not an entertaining guy. My wife might think I'm entertaining. My dogs might think I'm entertaining, but to the world, I'm not very entertaining. There's not a lot of entertainment on any of my stuff. And I've still got 300 million views, right? So you don't have to be entertaining. It's really figuring out what the balance is going to be for you. The more you can mix it in, the better. So, even just looking at your thumbnails, Chris, and everything you're doing, you've got a lot more charisma and personality and energy and a fun vibe, at least from what shows up, than I do. So I would use it. I would play with it. I would lean into it. But if you're not, I wouldn't force it. Because for me to try to be entertaining when I'm not and it's not authentic, it's not going to win. So definitely marrying the two, but finding a balance that fits for you. I probably wouldn't go 80-20 if you actually want to teach, if you want to be seen as a legit thought leader. But I would definitely mix in some entertainment if you can. And that's part of your brand. Just makes it more fun to watch, but you don't have to. For everybody watching, like, you could just be a straight thought leader and give fire information and have zero entertainment, but you're a badass at what you do. And people will watch if it's good content. I'm not very entertaining. Guys, thank you for the love. Appreciate it. I like the new format. I'll post it again for our next call just before, getting your feedback on what topics you want to cover, and we can go through it. I appreciate you. Stay active in the community. Post your wins, post your questions. If you feel alone, isolated, this is what this group is for. Have a fantastic Thursday. Continue to believe, and I will see you soon.